and welcome to Sew with Christine. In today's tutorial, I will be sharing with you how to cut and sew this two-step detachable 720-degree flare peplum. I will also be posting the tutorial soon on how to make this corset blouse with structural basket sleeves. You're going to need a yard of fabric, your lining, hair stay, and horsehair, also known as crinoline. I'm working with a satin fabric for this project. Now you can make use of any fabric of your choice. Since this detachable peplum is going to be worn over a corset blouse, I'm going to minus the value that I used up for snatching the waist line from the original waist circumference measurement. And the original waist circumference is 37 inches. The value that I used up for snatching the waist is 2 inches. So I'm going to minus 2 inches from 37 and that gives 35 inches. Alright. Now if your waist is not snatched, you want to wear the peplum over your normal dress, then you don't have to minus anything. Just go with your natural waist circumference. I want the edges of this peplum to wrap over each other at the back. So for me to achieve that, I will add 4 inches to the new waist circumference, and altogether I'm going to get 39 inches. So the new waistline is 39 inches. This is what we would use to get the radius of the flare. Now to get the radius of this flare, we are going to divide 39 by 12.56. 12.56 is the constant value. You can use this for any measurement whatsoever. So this is the value you use when you are making a 720-degree flare. After dividing this, I got 3 inches. Next, we are going to add the length of the peplum to these 3 inches that we got. So the length for this peplum is 9 inches. You're going to measure how long you want your peplum to be. I'm going to minus 2 inches from this 9 inches. This 2 inches is going to serve as the band. After minusing 2 inches, I got 7 inches as the result. Next, I'm going to add ½ inch for the seam allowance. That's the hem allowance. That gives 7.5 inches. This is the length that we will use for cutting the big flare. Next, we are going to add the 7.5 inches to the 3 inches. The reason we need to add this up is so that you will know the measurement you need when you fold your fabric into 4, so you don't fold excess. Now I'll go ahead and fold my fabric into 2. So remember I said 10.5 inches is what we are going to use for the measurement. So I'm going to measure 10.5 inches this way. Once I arrive at 10.5 inches, I'm going to fold this into 4. After folding, I will also measure to ensure this is 10.5 inches. Afterwards, I will go ahead and cut this out. So since it is 720-degree flare, we are going to cut 2 for the bigger flare, and we will also cut 2 for the smaller one. The same thing we measured for the first fold, we are going to do the same for this next fold, and I would cut. After cutting, I will lay the first one onto the second one this way so that we can cut both of them together. Now come to this part where we have 3 inches, which is the radius value. This is where we are going to take that measurement. From the tip, I will go ahead and begin to mark 3 inches. So whatever value you get, go ahead and mark that value this way. As you mark, ensure you turn your tape to get a curve like so. Once I'm done marking, I'm going to connect all the marked points. Next, we want to measure 10.5 inches round. So from this tip again, like you did the first curve, you're going to mark this value. I'm going to measure 10.5 inches like so till I get to this edge. After marking, I will go ahead and connect all the marked points. So guys, this is how to draft a 720-degree flare, and you can see I'm using my pins now to hold this so that the fabric would not move when I want to cut. At the top now, I will go ahead and add 0.5 inch seam allowance to this. Then I'm going to cut the top part. After that, I will cut the base. Next, we are going to cut the smaller flare. So look at this value where we have 7.5 inches. This is what I'm going to use as the full length. So you can determine the length you want for the smaller flay. But I'm going to be using 7.5 inches for the full length. That means the bigger one is 3 inches longer than the smaller one. Like we did the first one where we cut 2, we will do the same thing for this. You're going to fold your fabric into 4 and cut 2 of that. Now from the tip, I'll go ahead and mark 7.5 inches around the base. Once I'm done marking 7.5 inches, I'm going to connect all the marked points. Afterwards, I'm going to cut this out. So instead of measuring 3 inches from the top, I'm just going to place the bigger one over this so we can just trace this out like so. Now we have both of them cut out and we are done with the drafting and the cutting of the flay. Next, we are going to cut the band. The band is 5 inches. On fold, it gives 2.5 inches. Next, we are going to measure the length. I times the waist value by 2. Then I went ahead to add extra allowance to this. Now it's time for us to iron a stay onto this fabric. Before I do that, I went ahead to cut the side open. I would say it's best if you cut that area open after ironing your hairstay, because you're going to close this up when you lay this lay onto the hairstay. You can see what it's like. So you're still going to get that full circle. So it's best you cut it open after ironing the hairstay. When you're ironing your hairstay, you place the wrong side of the fabric onto the part of the hairstay that has glue. And right now we are done ironing this, and this is what we have here. I ironed hairstay onto the main fabric and I ironed gum stay to the lining. If you want to iron hairstay onto the lining, then it's fine. You can iron hairstay onto the lining. The next that we are going to do now is to stitch these edges up. We are going to place this right side facing right side and stitch that up. You'll do the same thing for the lining piece. Alright, I'm done stitching this side up and I'm also done stitching the main fabric. Next, I'm going to place the main fabric onto the lining, right side facing right side, and I will use my pins to hold them. There are some excesses at the base of the lining. I'm going to trim that off later. So you do well to use your pins to hold this in place before stitching. Now I'm going to bring in the horsehair and place this onto the main fabric. We are going to stitch on this. I'm just going to run my stitches from one end through to the other. So guys, this is the bigger flay. Whatever we do to this, you're just going to do to the small one. And mind you, I actually checked this horsehair if the black would not be visible on the right side before I went ahead to sew the black onto this. So it's best you use the matching color when you are sewing horsehair to your fabric. After stitching, I'm going to cut this out and trim the excess I talked about. Next is for us to make an understitch to keep the horsehair in place. After taking out my pins, I'm going to open this up like so. You're going to move the horsehair to the lining area and fold it this way. So I'm going to stitch on this part, but guys, it's actually very stressful stitching this way. The best is that you stitch this area that I'm pinning down first before you stitch the top part. That way it's going to be easy for you and it would come out very flat and nice. So these areas I'm pinning down, you're going to make an understitch on this part. Ensure you don't stitch on the main fabric, you're stitching directly on the lining. So once I'm done stitching this side, I'm going to make the understitch on the areas that I pinned. So guys, after stitching, we are now going to close off the edges. I'm going to turn this now so this sits right side facing right side. After that, I'm just going to stitch from the bottom upward. I'll stitch the other side as well. Once I'm done stitching this, we are going to bond this horsehair. This is very important so it doesn't hurt whoever is going to wear this. Now I'm done stitching both flares. As you can see, And this is the understitch I was telling you of that you need to make. You're just going to sew directly on this part. So this is what it looks like. You sew the down part and you also stitch the top area. When you turn the dress to the wrong side, you're going to see two stitches there, but none will be visible on the right side. I'll go ahead now and merge the center like so and use my pin to secure them. I'm going to do this till I get to the edge here. I'll bring in the band and notch the middle points. After notching, I'm going to place the right side of this band to the wrong side of the flay. After placing, I'm going to secure them with my pin. So guys, I'll go ahead now and stitch round this. And as you can see, I am done stitching the band onto the flay. The next we want to do now is to fold this band over the flay and stitch on it. But before you do that, you need to make notches on these areas. Notch all these parts that you have just sewn. After notching, I'm going to fold in the 1/2 inch seam allowance and place this midpoint onto the center of the flay. I'm going to pin. I'll pin this side as well, and I'm going to fold the other areas down. So I'll pin as I fold, I'll pin as I fold. When you get to this strap here, you're just going to fold in the seam allowances and secure those areas with your pin. Before we get to the edge, we'll need to stitch the edge. So I'll quickly do that. I'm just going to fold this right side facing right side and run my stitches. This is it. I'm done stitching this up. Now I'm going to turn this in. After turning, I'm going to fold in the seam allowances like we've been doing, and I will just secure with my pins. So guys, all these areas that I pinned are the areas that we will stitch on. We're just going to make a very neat stitches on this peplum. Now I'm done stitching. You can see the outcome of this. It came out looking very neat and great. So this is what yours should look like by the time you are done stitching. This is the wrong side view and this is the right side view. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I would like you guys to look forward to the upcoming tutorials where I will show you how to make the corset blouse and the structural basket sleeves.